Walmart sells to over 240 million customers every single week. That's more people than the entire population of Brazil walking through those doors, trusting that the price on the shelf is the price they'll pay. Here's what almost none of them know. That price can now change while they're still standing in front of it. Not a mistake, not a glitch, by design. And that's just the beginning. By the end of this video, you're going to understand why your grocery bill keeps creeping up even when you're buying the exact same things, and it has almost nothing to do with inflation. Stay to the end, because the last one is the change most people have never even noticed is happening to them right now, in real time, in every Walmart in the country. The locked aisles. Something is shifting at Walmart. Not loudly, not in a way that makes the evening news. It shows up in small moments, a weight that shouldn't exist, a receipt that doesn't quite add up, a brand that was there last month and isn't anymore. Most shoppers can feel it. They just don't have the words for it yet. So let's find those words. Start with the case everyone's run into by now. Razors, cold medicine, cosmetics, stuff people have grabbed off a shelf without thinking for decades, now sitting behind locked glass. You press a button. You wait. Sometimes it's 30 seconds. Sometimes it's 10 minutes, because the one employee with the key is on the other side of the store. The reason behind it is real. Theft has become a genuine problem for retailers, and locking up small, easy-to-resell items actually works. But the cost of that solution doesn't land on the person stealing. It lands on the person standing in front of the case, waiting, who did nothing wrong. And there's a strange contrast in it. You're inside a store with more cameras than it's ever had near the registers, near the entrances, watching for exactly this kind of theft. And yet you still can't grab a $2 item off a shelf without help. The store hasn't just added security. It's been rebuilt around managing risk. And somewhere in that redesign, the regular customer became part of what's being managed. But the locked cases are the change you can actually see. What's coming next has been happening right in front of you for years, and there's a good chance you never clocked it. The vanishing brands. The next shift doesn't hit all at once. It builds slowly enough that most people don't clock it until it's already happened. Walmart's own brands, Great Value, Better Goods, have been quietly taking over shelf space that used to belong to national brands. And it's not just more space. The packaging has been completely reworked. Cleaner design, better typography, something that reads a lot more premium than the store brand look most of us grew up with. Which raises the obvious question, if the store brand used to win purely on being cheap, and now it looks and feels premium, what happened to the price? In a growing number of categories, it's crept up. The gap between the store brand and the name brand has narrowed, sometimes to almost nothing. The business reason is simple. When Walmart sells someone else's product, it earns a cut. When it sells its own, it controls the entire chain: sourcing, pricing, placement, margin. Its own label is just worth more to the company than almost anything sitting next to it. You don't see that math when you're standing in the aisle. You just notice that the choices you used to have are a little thinner than they used to be, even as the store around you keeps getting bigger. None of that required you to do anything. But the next shift is bigger than lock cases or shelf space. It's a system running the entire store, and almost nobody working there or shopping there has any idea how far it actually reaches. The machines you never see. Here's the part that's easiest to miss, because none of it happens where you're looking. A single large Walmart carries well over 100,000 different products. Keeping track of what's low, what's about to sell out, what needs to be reordered, that used to take teams of people working shifts around the clock. Now it's largely run by algorithms. Systems track inventory in real time, place restocking orders automatically, and adjust for things like weather or local events faster than a person ever could. Cameras in newer stores can spot a spill or a blocked aisle almost instantly and flag the nearest employee before a customer even complains. That's genuinely useful. Shelves stay fuller. Hazards get cleared faster. But almost nobody talks about the flip side. Every one of those automated tasks used to be somebody's job. Real people, real schedules, real knowledge about how their specific store's customers shopped. That knowledge hasn't been replaced by better knowledge. It's just been moved into a server somewhere far from a floor. And here's the part that should really bother you. Some of that missing labor didn't disappear. It got handed straight to you, and you probably never noticed you agreed to it. You've become the employee. This one everyone's felt, even if they've never put it into words. Walk into self-checkout on a busy day, one employee managing 6 or 7 machines, a full line of people scanning their own groceries, bagging them, and waving for help when a machine freezes. Want a discount? There's an app for that. Want to know if something's in stock? App. Want to find an item in a store the size of an airport with almost no staff on the floor? App again. None of that is inherently bad. Plenty of people don't mind doing it themselves. The real question is simpler. If customers are now doing a growing share of the work employees used to do, has any of that shown up as lower prices? Ask around, and most people will tell you no. The work moved. The savings didn't follow it. That gap is exactly where the frustration comes from. Remember what I said at the start about the price that can change while you're standing in front of it? This is where that comes from. A price that can change. For most of Walmart's history, a price tag was a fixed piece of information, a number on a shelf, printed on paper. That stayed put until someone physically walked over and swapped it. That's disappearing. Electronic shelf labels, small digital screens that update instantly from a central system, are rolling out across stores nationwide. Operationally, it's a real upgrade. Price changes that used to take a full day of staff walking the aisles now happen in minutes. But it introduces something else, too. A price on a screen isn't fixed the way a printed one was. It can change. And once shoppers understand that it can, even if it hasn't yet, something shifts. A price used to end the conversation the second you saw it. Now, for a lot of people, it's the start of a small, quiet doubt. And that doubt shows up somewhere very specific, somewhere you've been feeling it for months without connecting it to any of this. 60 cents at a time. All of this points to the same place, not the big purchases, the small ones. The crackers, the chips, the dish soap. The stuff you use to toss in the cart without checking, because you already knew roughly what it cost. Except now you don't, not really. Because it's gone up. Not all at once, a little at a time. 60 cents here. $1 there. Small enough that no single trip feels different. Big enough that a year of trips absolutely does. That's the part nobody puts on a receipt. And once you start noticing it, you can't stop.